So here's something that sucks. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about amps within a particular brand and model. Well, not brand and model, but brand and type, let's say. Like the Boss Katana. There are a number of different options. There's the Katana 50. There's the Katana 100. There's the Katana 100 212. There's the Katana 100 head. Then there's the Katana Artist. So they continue to go up in price, but they also continue to go up in features. So I'm sitting here thinking, at what point is it sort of diminishing returns? You know, are you paying more for features you're not even going to use? And the problem that I've had in the past is gear ends up being so complex that you have to be able to spend the time programming it in order to really enjoy it and get out of it what you need to or want to. And the Eventide H9 is a great example. It's not just a tweak the knobs and go type of thing. You have to understand how the menu systems work. You have to understand how the presets are organized. You have to understand how the jog shuttle button, that's the big, main button / knob on it, works. You have to know how to plug in, plug out, do the tap tempo, what the 2-foot switches mean, and how to use those. So there's a lot of shit that goes into trying to figure out how to use the H9, which is why I've decided that for me it makes a lot more sense to just have other outboard effects for reverb and delay if I want them, if I want to use them, and then just use the H9 as a harmonizer. So yeah, I basically paid a shit ton of money for the H9 when I could have gotten the pitch factor, but I just couldn't find the pitch factor at that point. And then I also like the idea that the H9 is expandable. So if Eventide ever comes out with a cool thing that I want to add as an additional tone option or modulation option or time-based effect option, then I can do that, and it's like $10. So, you can buy effects for $10 basically. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But back to the idea of the Katana, if you buy equipment that you're able to get for a low price, if you're looking for something that's the best price, it might not necessarily be the best value. So you have to consider whether you're going to end up sticking with that equipment or whether you're going to upgrade as soon as you have it or as soon as you have an opportunity to use it, and then realize that you wanted the higher end model with more features. So that's where I'm stuck right now. Concord Strings and Things, when I went in there yesterday, has the 50 for $229, which is the standard price. They don't have the 100 in any format, combo, head, 212, any of that, and they don't have the Artist. But I'm thinking, if you're buying gear, should you buy the most high-end piece so that you don't ever regret buying the low-end piece? And that's a tough decision to make, because I think you run the risk of really sort of having equipment that goes well beyond what you need. I am not a gigging musician right now. Now, I say right now because maybe in the future that would change. Maybe I'll have a blues band. Maybe I'll put together some sort of a jazz combo. Maybe I'll, get a metal thing going. Maybe I'll just do an instrumental thing. Who knows? It would be nice to be able to use that equipment in that setting without having to worry about upgrading it or anything like that. So should I go ahead and buy the highest level of model in that equipment? Tough call. As I sit here, I wonder if that's probably not the best option, but I also think about those individuals who are looking to get into a particular equipment. They're looking to be able to achieve a particular sound. For me, I always wanted a 5150. That was just the amp. I mean, since I was, since they originally came out in the 90s, I can remember Ideal Music in Warner Robins, Georgia had a 5150. Oh, no, you know what? It was after that. Yeah, it was after Georgia, because it came out when I was living in New Hampshire at that point. And they had a 5150 combo amp at Earcraft Music in Dover. I think that was the first time I had seen one. And I think at one point I actually plugged into it. I bought some other stuff from Earcraft as well. I bought a nice Blue Voodoo 412 cab. I bought a Zoom multi-effects unit. I bought the neck for my Ibanez soloist style RG type guitar that I had put together. Mohawk, as I call it. But all that while I had, different amps I was trying, different amps I was using, and the 5150 was just where it was at. Everyone was using it. It had the tone. It definitely had the gain. It had that bite, that chug, and so I ended up getting one of those. But it's a real one-trick pony. It does high gain, rhythm tone really good. It chugs, and it's nice in that respect. It has a really nice resonance. It has just the right power, the right bite, but it doesn't do clean. So I originally came to the idea of the Boss Katana because of the clean, but I was really won over by the effects and the idea that essentially all of those effects that I'm using, I would use in a clean or crunch type scenario. So like I have a Univibe. I'd use that with a crunch channel, not with a high gain amp. I have the overdrive pedal. I'd use that on top of a crunch. I have the H9. I would use that with a Brown sound or potentially with the Peavey. So that's one pedal that would remain in the signal chain. But it's the idea that you want something that's going to suit your playing. At the end of the day, though, you want something that's going to make you want to play. You want something that's easy, accessible, that you can just pull out, plug into, and it makes you happy. So you have to have the gear that is accessible and that really is easy enough to use, that you're not discouraged about the idea of having to spend time plugging it up, getting everything set up, and what a pain in the ass, Like for me, it's nice because I'm just going to be using these things initially for practice and tracking. I'm not going to be using them for gigging, so the foot pedal configuration and stuff doesn't really matter as much. But man, it's a nice to have. The GA FC foot controller that Boss offers, Boss Roland, is just great in terms of the expansion opportunity for the Katana, for the Artist, but basically for anything above the 50. So if I bought the 50 today, I'd get into the tone, but I wouldn't have any opportunity to expand on it. And I also don't think that the 50 has a line out. So basically, I'm just spending this video trying to reason out the purchase and try to figure out what it is I really want. And at the end of the day, I think that what I really want is probably going to end up being the Artist. It's the best amp in that line without going way up to the Wazacraft. So yeah, that's probably going to be the choice for today, which means I'm not going to have it today, which means I am going to have to spend extra money on it that I don't have, which means if I want to have it now, I'm going to have to do that flex pay thing. So yeah, just a challenging decision, but I mean, at the end of it all, would I be happy with what I had, or would I find in 6 months that I was taking a bath and losing money because I'm trying to get rid of it? And in the meantime, I can look at the pedals that I have and really make intelligent choices about whether I need to keep those in the signal chain, whether they should be part of the rig or if they can just go. So that's where things are at right now, and we'll see what happens. We'll see. I'll go on American Musical today. They did have some, factory non-sealed or minor scratch and scrape Artist combos for a pretty good price. So we'll see where that goes, and yeah, that's probably going to boil down to me having something by maybe Saturday. So that's it for today. Just the idea that you should really consider what's going to make you happy and what's going to keep you playing at the end of the day.